There was a time one of our teachers recounted something to us. And if you want people to have a unity of purpose and a sense of unison, then it is in the examination hall. Everybody who wrote the exam answered a certain question or a group of questions in a certain way. And you know, it is customary that when we all come out of the examination hall, we discuss how we solved questions. So, according to the teacher who recounted this to us, and the underpinning principle or ideal in ambition, goal setting, and life he was teaching us, for me, was the principle of originality. Be original. It doesn't matter if you look crazy in the eyes of people. It doesn't matter if your ideas appear weird and queer to the people. They may all be on one side, but it doesn't mean they are right. They say majority is always right. You can have the majority, but the whole of the majority could be wrong. So this gentleman, who was not interested in examination leaks and all that, had originality and studied for an exam. Immediately after the exam, everybody was discussing, and we've all done this before. Oh, as for me, I killed question 1, section B question 2. This was how I answered it. And it looked like the answers other people gave were coalescing, were gathering and coming together to fit a certain pattern. Then his was entirely different. But because sometimes we are social beings, you are tempted to believe that if every graduate is going into this thing, let me also go into it. If besides the essence of life is to draw a salary, but maybe after graduation you are incremental in your plans. Some people may get a job immediately after their national service. You may take your time, study the environment, and start to write after 5 years after graduation. Everybody in their time. And God's time, they say, is always the best. But in our haste to save face, for example, someone even writes an exam at the SHS level. Your ambition is to maybe pursue actuarial science. But because all your colleagues are going to school, and your mother will be in the neighborhood, someone will say, no, why is everybody's child going to school and your child is still home? Maybe because you want to do actuarial science, you want to, better some grades. But people will see you as a failure. And because they are all going to the university, you compromise on the goals, the larger goals you would have set for yourself. Oh, everybody is going. I don't want to stay home. I don't want to be the odd one out. Sometimes you have to swim against the tide. You have to go against the grain. You have to be the odd one out to be able to stand out eventually. So, this gentleman was the odd one out, according to the teacher who recounted this to us. Everybody answered the questions in a certain way. And collective, sense of victory and ownership made him feel left out. And this young man, threw himself from a story building, maybe their dormitory, and then died. And eventually, when the results came out, according to the teacher, and I'm sure some of these stories are created not because they really happened in real life, but they are created, or they may be created just to encourage people. And when the results eventually came, the collective that thought that they were right in the kind of answers they gave, because their answers fit a certain pattern, turned out to be entirely wrong. And the one who was the odd one out and had already taken his life happened to be the one on the right track in terms of the format and the content of the answers he gave. So you may sound crazy, you may look crazy. When people set out to create Google, they called it Google with a lot of O's. Before then, we only had goggles. When somebody set out to do something great, people would laugh at him. You remember the Ark of Noah? The Quran says, وَيَصْنَعُ الْفُلْكَ كلما مرت عليه ملأ من قومه سخروا منه قال إن تسخروا منا فإنا نسخر منكم كما تسخرون فسوف تعلمون من يأتيه عذاب يخزيه ويحل عليه عذاب مقيم. وكلما مر عليه ملأ من قومه سخروا منه. Anytime a group of people from the people of Noah went past his own goal, Noah had a goal. God Almighty had given him a divine ambition. He had given him a divine objective to achieve. And this gentleman, Noah, our father Noah, was building an ark far from the sea line. And people thought it was odd. So anytime people passed by him, they would make jests of what he was doing. They would laugh at him. Then he would tell them, if you laugh at us, if you mock us today, then we also mock you the way you are mocking. But soon you'll get to know upon whom a punishment will come and upon whom a perpetual punishment will be on. And so sometimes you may be doing your own thing.